Do you know who you are and where you're going? You're whether in the camp of of course I know, or in the camp of, I ain't got a clue. Whichever camp you're in, you're whether a bit overconfident or you're actually not trusting enough what you already know about yourself. In this video, we will build a special rocket, which will help you with different stages to understand yourself, know yourself, take a direction in your life and live a life of purpose. This is a coaching session, folks, so please take pen, paper, and write down everything that you're going to discover about yourself in this session. My name is Greg Anjabird. I'm a life coach. I'm also a personal finance coach, and I'm here to actually inspire and help people to live a life of personal agency. I share what I know about coaching and personal finance on a cup of coffee, and it's to help you live a life of purpose. When I was in my 20s, I thought who I was, mainly because, well, I was arrogant. But deep down and well hidden, there was a feeling of insecurity because I didn't really know who I was and also which direction I wanted to go. Raise your hand if you feel the same way. There's so much to learn about ourselves, how our body works, how our brain works, what kind of personality traits you have, what are your values, what are your strengths, what are your passions, what makes you happy, and how do people perceive you. Today we're going to focus on 4 stages of your rocket, and the first one is your values, the second one is your strengths, the third one is your passions, and the fourth one is building your life purpose. Let's start with your values. That's the engine of your rocket. Without that, you can't go anywhere. Let's walk through a key question to ask yourself. What are the values that you feel are deeply important for you and or people recognize in you? Think about your values as a behavior, something that you would want to be doing every day, a verb with ing. An example, one of my values is respecting others as equal human beings. The value is respect, and it has a lot more oomph as a verb. If you need some help with this, check this link and also in the video description, but make sure that you take those nouns and transform them into verbs which mean something for you. Time to reflect. Time out. Take the time to reflect and write down what are your thoughts. Done? Okay. How do you feel? If you feel like me, you should feel centered with an understanding of where you're at and what's important for you. Now you're ready for takeoff. Now let's talk about your strength. This is the fuel of your rocket. This is where the energy is coming from. And ask yourself this question: what are your greatest strengths that you are most proud of and or people recognize in you? Again, think about your strengths as a behavior, something that you do and demonstrate every day. It's a verb again. An example for me is translating cultural differences for others so they can engage together. I've lived in many different countries and I'm pretty good at doing that. If you need some help, check this link here and in the description. It will help you to actually do this survey to learn your strengths. Make sure again that you transform that into verbs which mean something for you. Time out again. Take the time to pause the video and actually do the exercise and write down your thoughts. Done? Okay, how do you feel? If you feel like me, you feel that energy of self-confidence propelling you forward. It feels so good to know what we're good at. And if you like this video, please do make sure that you hit the like button and also subscribe, and don't forget to put the notifications on to get more content like this every week. The third stage is your passions. It's where you like to spend time in. It's this environment in which you thrive. What are the areas that you're naturally attracted to and where you can spend plenty of time in a state of flow? Think about your passions and interests as something that you love doing. It will inform you about the environment in which you love doing that. It can also be something that you find frustrating and want to change. Time to reflect, pause, write down your thoughts, and we come back. Done? Okay. How do you feel? If you're like me, you're feeling that you're more centered. You know what is the type of environment in which you will flourish. Let's step out of the rocket and talk about your legacy. This is the journey of the rocket. This is your life. This is how it will be remembered by others. Now close your eyes. Think about that you're 100-year-old and you've had a happy and successful life, success defined by yourself. Now you're looking back at this life and you're asking yourself some questions. Where are you? It can be anywhere. Who is around you for those last moments? How are those people celebrating your life? What are they saying about what was great about your life? What do they say about your proudest moments in your life? Again, time to reflect. Pause the video, think about it, write down the answers for those questions and your thoughts. Done? Okay. How do you feel? If you feel like me, you feel like a sense of peace and joy because you've been able to look at this life, what got you where you are and what got you completely peaceful and joyful about the journey that you've taken. Last stage of the rocket, your life purpose. This is the command center of the rocket. This is where decisions are taken to where the rocket is going to go and the direction that it's taking. And it is a paradox. We only build the tip of the rocket once we actually have imagined the journey that we are going to take. Now ask yourself this profound question. What is your life purpose, which engages your values, your strengths and passions, and will add value to the world? Bring together what you will do, which comes from your strengths, the environment in which you want to be, from your passions, and the way you want to impact the world, from your values. Write down a sentence that summarizes all that. Make many versions, you will probably change it in the future. Pause the video again, time to reflect, write it down, write those different versions. Done? Okay, how do you feel? If you feel like me when I actually did it a few years ago, you feel a sense of peace, at the same time a sense of excitement about finding where you're going and that energy coming with it. And also a deep sense of clarity about the direction you want to take in your life. If you find that exercise hard to do on your own, well, that's normal. It's not easy to reflect on your own about all those questions. I'm a life coach, as I mentioned, so if you want to be in touch with me and so we go through a session where we do all of this together and bring clarity to your life, I'd be happy to do that with you. Wow, you've built your life rocket. You now have a sentence which is your life purpose. It's going to take you to places that you've never imagined you could go to. I hope this was helpful for you, and I hope that in the meantime you will work on all those different questions. Until next week, where we will actually be talking about, now that you have a life purpose, how do you actually transform that into daily goals or life goals that will take you where you want to be? Take care, and I'll see you next week.